Welcome into News 10 Plus, everyone. I am Taylor Gattoni. Right now, we're going to be sending it to a live stream happening, taking you to Lansing, where Governor Gretchen Whitmer is about to sign the Crown Act. We do want to take you to this right now.
Many states who are trying to get past a Crown Act that cannot do so because they do not have the leadership that we have in Michigan. Special acknowledgement to all of our legislative partners who are here, members of the Michigan Legislative Black Caucus, who have, again, been fearless advocates for the Crown Act year after year. So I can't acknowledge all of you, but just wave. Just wave. So when I look out amongst the folks who are gathered here, first of all, y'all look amazing. These natural hairstyles are inspiring. You look absolutely wonderful. And this location is really special to me. Not only because, as Desmond mentioned, it's the rebirth of this corridor. Just next door, for those of you who are from Lansing, Shinora's. Now, you know Shinora's, and Shinora's my cousin, so I can say this. Shinora's was the place when we were growing up. And our locks and our coils and our cornrows were not acceptable. We're not acceptable in workplaces, in educational institutions. In fact, that we could be denied employment or promotions or school photos or the ability to graduation, to walk across the graduation stage simply because of God's ability to make our hair stronger and different and beautiful. Can you imagine? And what we heard since 2019, when we first introduced the Crown Act, is the stories of men and women and children who were denied opportunities here in our state. Now let's just call it what it is. Hair discrimination is nothing more than thinly veiled racial discrimination. And yet year after year, this was able to persist. Now, in 2019, again, we introduced the first Crown Act. It was sent to the legislative graveyard and they told us you are crazy. They laughed us out of rooms. They told us we were ridiculous. But we introduced it again and introduced it again. But something kind of cool happened last year. You all lifted up your voices and said, we want to change the guard. We want Democrats controlling the House and the Senate and retaining our amazing governor and lieutenant governor. And in straight way, we were able to deliver for just about everybody else, for workers, for small business owners, for our LGBTQ plus community, for labor, but a community was missing. We could deliver for everyone else, but things that are unique to the Black experience needed to also make it to the governor's desk, which leads us here today. Now, I will just say, from a national perspective, Michigan is going to join a number of states who have already passed Crown Acts, and it is a long time coming. But I will tell you, many of us, again, these lawmakers, there are folks from the local level at counties and cities across the state who have already taken bold action for Black folks in terms of the Crown Act. But we can chew gum and walk, right? It was kind of a surreal experience. So I'm not only the state senator for this area, but I'm also the appropriations chair. And we are in the throes of budget season. So my colleagues in the House knows, last week, I'm ripping and running, right? We are trying to negotiate, trying to figure out how much money to fix these roads, how much money to give to our schools, to our small businesses. My daddy's here, I can't cuss. But I will tell you, we're trying to figure out how we can solve our state's problems. And as one of the chief negotiators, this is the busiest time. And there was someone who kind of whispered and said, can't you just wait for the Crown Act? Just wait until things slow down. It is convenient to slow down and to wait for issues that impact Black people. There will never be a time in which we will want to prioritize things that are unique to Black people and particularly Black women. So today, I am proud to just let you know, we will not only have a budget that is passed, all the other places that we want to create space and ensure that Black Americans, that all Michiganders have a seat at the table. So we are not going to stop at the Crown Act. We're going to try to ensure that educational attainment is achieved for African Americans, that we are closing the wealth gap, closing health disparities for Black folks and other people of color across the state. This is just the beginning, y'all, and I'm hoping that we continue to have the level of energy and excitement around the issues that impact African Americans in our state. So thank you so much for being here today. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Donna Bell.
All right, thank you, Senator Anthony. So to our Governor Whitmer, to our Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, and to Senator Anthony, thank you for being diligent and persistent and for driving to get us to this point. My name is Dr. Donna Bell. I am the co-chair of the Black Leadership Advisory Council, which Governor Whitmer put in place, and excited and grateful to be here for this momentous occasion. The Black Leadership Advisory Council has been charged with making sure that we identify barriers to the Black community. And we serve as the front line to all Black Michiganders. So if you have something on your mind, you need to let us know, and we'll include it in our reports. So the Crown Act addresses one of those critical issues, and there are a few. From Black women with natural hairstyles facing bias in job recruitment, to Black children being restricted in school because they're wearing natural hairstyles like braids, our community is subjected to scrutiny every single day. Michigan deserves better. Our community deserves better. This is why the Black Leadership Advisory Council recommended the Crown Act as a key priority in our 2022 report to Governor Whitmer. In February this year, the council was pleased to host a virtual town hall with talking about the importance of the Crown Act and supporting Senator Anthony in her efforts. Three times is a charm, right? Later that month, I penned an op-ed in the Detroit Free Press calling for the very action on which we're here today. Though some municipalities have enacted policies and banned race-based hair discrimination locally, today, we officially expand this law to provide statewide protections. And I'm okay with the hand clap right there. So bringing the Crown Act to Michigan, which will expand the protections for natural and protective styles, is the right move for Michigan, for Black Michiganders, and for businesses. And Juneteenth is a great opportunity for our state leaders to take action to show Black Michiganders and the world that we deserve economic prosperity and equal opportunities with all that we bring to the table, including our authentic selves. And that's very important. So in addition to the Crown Act, the Black Leadership Advisory Council outlined 10 other priorities in our policy recommendations to remove barriers in the Black community here in Michigan in the areas of business leadership, community safety and justice, education, and health. And we look forward to continuing the work to further equality in these areas. So on behalf of the Black Leadership Advisory Council, I'm truly proud. I applaud the Michigan legislature and for passing, and for Governor Whitmer for signing the Michigan Crown Act to outlaw hair discrimination in our state. Thank you very much. And I'd like to pass it over to Elaine Collins.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yvette Collins, and I was honored to be asked to give a few remarks about the passing of the Crown Act because of my early advocacy of the bill back when Senator Anthony was my state House rep. At the time, I worked for AT&T, and I highlighted the issue as something I believe the organization should support because it fit into its corporation's values of inclusion. But it was never really about any corporate objective. The issue was something that instantly struck a you're made to feel that something needs to be tamed or fixed. I was excited to learn that my state rep at the time was taking this perseverance to take up an issue so few understand and get the attention it deserves. I am so pleased that Senator Anthony didn't give up on what Representative Anthony started. And she was persistent in bringing this issue forward to this day when the governor can sign it into law. Thank you, and I'd like to introduce our Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist.
Y'all, this is a big day for the state of Michigan. It's a big day for the state of Michigan because we are welcoming a new group of people into a closer proximity with equity, a closer proximity with opportunity, to have this be a place where there is a little bit less discrimination, a little bit less hatred, a little bit less racism, and a lot more justice. I certainly cannot thank Senator Anthony enough for her persistence. Persistent black women can do stuff, can't they? So many of our most important changes come from that source. I want to bring a little bit different perspective because this issue is grounded and centered in the experiences of black women. A classroom where there were 2 white students to an elementary school building where there was 1 black student, and that was me. And so when I got there, that was a different experience. But one of the things that I had to learn about very quickly, was confronted with as an 8-year-old, was what it felt like to have a white person, and not just a child, but an adult, rub my arms to see if something came off. That's right. To put both hands, without my consent, to put both hands on my hair to see what it felt like. This, unfortunately, is almost universal to the black experience for those of us who have lived in communities where we are not the majority. But thank God that we have people in Michigan, like Senator Anthony in elected office. And thank God that we have my oldest daughter just got her hair braided yesterday, and she got her first ever design in it. She got a little heart on the right side. Okay? It looks fantastic. She chose that hairstyle. Imagine when you choose how you want to present, to have somebody tell you that that's wrong. What does that do to snuff out the imaginative potential of our young people? We say we want people to express themselves, yet we discriminated against people for far too long who expressed themselves. But today, that ends in Michigan. And I'm so proud to be a Michigander on this day. So proud to serve alongside our Governor Gretchen Whitmer on this day, when we are taking yet another step forward. So I would ask and encourage and challenge everyone to think about how you can encourage someone to be themselves, to be their best selves. When you see a black woman, say thank you for being yourself. Thank you for how you express yourself. Thank you for the confidence that you put into the world so that others in themselves. Foundation. There's no limit to how we can because you know you're unlocking something. And so whether it's these children here or children all across Michigan, they'll know that it's more than okay. It's more than okay. That it's possible to be great because it's possible to be you. So I want to bring forward Doug and Marion Scott. And as the father,
especially to all the black women, just like he said, this is something without y'all being willing to do what you do, to wear your hair the way that you want to wear your hair, to be able to fight these battles, we wouldn't be standing here right now. Without Senator Anthony, without the governor, without everyone behind me that's been willing to put their time in and make this possible. As a father, this is the greatest thing I could see happen. I figured that nothing would happen. We've been fighting since 2019. Marion was in the 3rd grade. She had red in her hair and was told that she was not appropriate and did not represent the school that we were at. My father's a physician in Jackson, and I found that really hard to believe, especially after we watched the amount of time that her mother put into getting her hair together for her to go to school and take these pictures. And as a 3rd grader, I know y'all remember in 3rd grade taking pictures, we were all excited. So to be pulled to the side and told that you're not taking your pictures is devastating to a young child, male, female, anyone. And this time it happened to be a young lady, and I will stand up like I did in 2019 and continue to stand up. And I appreciate everyone in this room that has backed this and is standing up with this and is fed up with this, you know. So thank you very much, Governor Whitmer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very amazing.
Well, please give it up one more time for Doug and our future Governor, Marion. By acknowledging the hard work of Senator Anthony. I am so proud to be represented by Senator Anthony at the Capitol. and proud to be negotiating the budget with her as well. She's doing a phenomenal job, but she's been absolutely persistent. Advocacy of the Legislative Black Caucus to get this done. And members, obviously, of the community, allies, and friends, thank you for working so hard to make this day a reality. You know, it's yet another day where in Michigan we are showing the world that we are taking action to make sure that this state is a more equitable, inclusive place. And today I'm excited to be signing the Crown Act into law. The creating a respectful and open world for natural hair, right? That's what CROWN stands for. Expands civil rights protections by banning discrimination based on natural hair texture or hairstyle. For far too long, we know that hair-based discrimination has been used to deny equal opportunity for Black Americans. No more, not here in Michigan. With this overwhelmingly bipartisan bill, we're coming together to say that no one should be fired from their job, denied opportunity, or kicked out of school because of their natural hair. After all, hair is a part of our identity. As Detroit native Diana Ross once said, hair has always been important. For too long, Black communities have been told to control their hair or to make it conform to white standards, to meet unspoken rules that are rooted in prejudice. The history of hair discrimination goes back centuries. And we know that there are countless stories of Black Michiganders who have been denied jobs or health care or participation in school because of their hair. Moms have had to watch their kids hide who they are just to go to school. No more. Kids have grown up watching their parents change their hair so that they can go to work to put food on the table. No more. The Crown Act recognizes that any attempt to deny someone an opportunity based on their natural hair will be illegal now. It shows our children, tells our kids that they are beautiful and they are loved exactly the way that they are. Michigan is a state where we stand up for fundamental rights and freedoms, whether it's your right to make your own decisions about your health and your body, your freedom to feel safe in your community. Our state is a place where you can live with dignity and respect and find a path to prosperity for every person who calls this great state home. Signing the Crown Act is also not just the right thing to do, although that's good enough for me, but it's also good economics. As I've said before, bigotry is bad for business. States with restrictive laws are losing talent and businesses. It's why so many prominent chambers of commerce and business support the efforts that we've taken to expand civil rights here in Michigan. They know that freedom and opportunity drive talent and growth. Michigan will continue to grow and outcompete other states that are more focused on spreading hate and dividing people. So if you live in a state, so this is to all my friends in the press, to broadcast beyond our borders, if you live in a state that refuses to let you live your life and build a path to prosperity, our message is simple. Come to Michigan. We've gotten a lot done this year on issues that actually make a difference in people's lives. We got it done because of all of you. We quintupled the working families tax credit. This is putting hundreds of dollars back in the pockets of people who work full-time but struggle to make ends meet. Half the kids in Michigan live in these households. We passed $1 billion of tax relief. We brought tens of thousands of good-paying manufacturing jobs home to Michigan. We've expanded free and low-cost preschool and childcare to hundreds of thousands more kids and families because of all of you. We made critical investments to close racial disparities and support healthy moms and healthy babies because of you. We lowered the cost of higher education and skills training and car insurance and housing and home repairs because of you. And I'm so proud that we are taking action today to make sure that anyone can make it here in Michigan because of you. So I am proud to be here, but you didn't come to watch me give speeches. You came to watch me sign the bill, so let's get it done. Please join me.
Okay. All right. Yep. If I can have you start. Come on, if you want to stand with me, guys. Around
Two, three. Yep, that's it. Oh, he's over there. He's over by the.
Go this way or that way?
Let's go this way. Hello. Excuse me.
Customers in here today, huh?
Hi, I'm Tanaya. I was the one texting you.
How you doing?
Good.
Sorry about all that.
It's okay. How are you? My photographer's right there. We can stand over here out the way. This is Dan.
Good to meet you.
Got a lot of
A
needs.
little bit.
All right, mind your way.
Scoot right through it. Pardon me again. Yep. Do you want the stick mic?
Yeah.
Shut that
Or,
Do you want to loud them up?
I think so it's loud. So who's doing the talking? You or is it Miriam? Okay. So this kind of like goes. I don't know if you want to put it up your shirt or just.
still look kind of wild.
I mean, I put,
Like tuck it a little bit, or
or yeah, if you can even tuck it under your collar.
yeah. Well, I think you put it up your shirt.
I came up through the shirt, so yeah. Be better to come outside then and
No, if you just push it like.
Yeah, just roll.
Yeah, there you go.
There, yeah. Perfect.
all right.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Yeah, but finish it.
Okay.
I'll ask the question at the beginning.
Okay.
All right. Could you start by saying and spelling your first and last name?
She was in the 3rd grade. It was 2019, and she had some red extensions added into her hair. And which is why we, in return, reached out to Nicole with WILX and wanted to make this 3rd grade. You know, this isn't something that parents in the 3rd grade telling them you can't take a picture. The adults weren't responsible or adult enough to make that phone call. They needed. That's not what we should be doing.
How did that make you feel?
Very angry. Very angry. I felt powerless, to be honest with you. The only thing that I could do is to reach out to the media and to try to see if people would listen and help. And like I said up there, it's something that I felt would never resolve, that we would never hear anything about. And thank God here we are today with the Crown Act, and it did resolve. And the next thing that we're looking for is accountability. Not just the fact that you can't do this, but we want to see people held accountable for when they do these things, and these children shouldn't suffer from that, and no adult should suffer from this as well.
How do you feel knowing that it's been a long time coming, but today we're here and the Crown Act is signed and you can no longer discriminate against these hairstyles?
I feel like we're in a long part of history, and this isn't Black history, this is becoming American history, and we are history. It's not just about Black, we're becoming a part of America, and we have to be, you know, we have to be on the same level just as equal as everyone else. And if people don't see us as equals, then it'll never be right. And this is the first step to getting right, you know, and we're making large steps and large improvements to get there. So we have to thank these people up here for doing what they've done.
Anything else you want to add? That was great. I'm done.
No, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay.
Red hair don't care.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Yes. Have a good day.